Live.
Okay, it says so. It says so.
And there we are on the Twitch.
It's rolling.
Yeah,
All right, all right. So how's everything, my brother?
so far so good. Is
Yeah.
that can is that can be the theme of the day? Everybody calling me my brother.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's the last brother you get out of me tonight.
No, you can be my brother today. As you'd never know these days.
Hmm.
How was your day? Your day was good?
Yeah, my day was really good. My
Yeah.
day was really good because it moved efficiently.
Mm.
My clients came on time. I was able to um, get the jobs done on time. Um, so much so that it allowed me time to get my lunch break. Because sometimes
True.
if I'm not working on time, people aren't working on time, then it bleeds into the time I take to eat, right? So,
Mm.
and I like to make sure that I get to eat on Tuesday for sure because
You need
sometimes
it.
sometimes I'll be drinking.
I hear that.
Sometimes I'll
Good
be drinking.
evening. Good evening, Fave. Um. So what do you? How do you deal with that? Because I remember I batted up. My barber Ute now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been going to him for a while. But I remember one day early, I batted him up because I was on time. He was running late and he rushed me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my haircut just wasn't, when I got up and I left and I messaged him, I was like, yo, one side of my head looks a little,
Lean.
yeah. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, if I was late, rush me. Right. So if
Mm-hmm.
I had a 12 o'clock appointment, I came at 12:30, I'm booked for an hour, 1 o'clock. You want to throw me out of the chair? Throw me out of the chair. I go, but if I come in on proper time now,
Yeah.
that's on you. I get my hour. Is that the right thing?
I mean, as a customer speaking, sure, like it makes sense, right? But it's tough.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean,
It's
that's what
tough
I'm.
because
We had a good talk.
like so for instance, if somebody comes late
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of my day,
Mm-hmm. You're done. No, I hear that. But everybody get. But do you? But then you just work late.
well, I mean, I got to get everybody done, right? So it's
Like
not
I know you try to, you know,
right. Like I
still
try to
nice
make
it
back the
up and
time.
yeah.
I try to make back the time. So it's tough. Like I can't like I understand if somebody's saying, "Hey man, like I want my time." Yeah,
Right.
you're gonna get your time, you're gonna get your cut, but sometimes it's just not my fault.
No, I hear that.
You know what I mean?
Hang on. There's a shit ton of people here early. Sorry, I didn't mean I didn't
Not
use the emote. So Cammy, good evening. Mrs. Ron C, happy Tuesday and good evening to you, dear. Flint, Flint, you're here early, bro. So big up to you, Kevin the G or Kev the G. Who else is in here? I saw somebody else that I want to kind of stop and big up, but I don't see him anymore. So
we say Cammy, what up with you? We already said that.
yeah,
Denise, what up with you? Miss Ron C. Gaff.
calf, calf, big member. What up? Um, we did cold pizza this morning, didn't we? What did we? What was? Did you watch it back?
I did
We
watch
caught
it
it.
back.
How'd that go?
It was good. I
You all
enjoyed it.
right? Hmm.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was different. I thought it was differenter, which was good,
Yeah,
I
it was
guess.
less basketball. We didn't even touch basketball, did we?
I don't think so.
Okay, we probably talk basketball with our guest today.
What up, cuz? Christy Ray's lurking today.
What up, cuz?
Hmm. Interesting. So, your weekend?
My weekend was cool. Mother's Day happened.
Mother's Day did happen.
Mother's Day happened, and
Happy belated Mother's Day, everybody, or anybody that we didn't see, anybody that's here that's a mother.
Mama,
Oh boy.
Mama. So what? You can stop me from? I can't do this.
Huh?
I can't do this. You can stifle me.
Wait.
I was about to
Please hold.
serenade the ladies in the chat.
Hang on.
Rude, rude,
Yeah.
rude.
I made that a damn emote for a reason, buddy. Yeah, no. So Mother's Day. Did you do anything exciting for Mother's Day on
Um,
Mother's Day with mother?
I went to a play. I went to a play on
About.
on Sunday.
Sorry.
Oh my! You see now? You see? You know
Focus, man.
what?
Don't remember. Focus on me. Don't focus on Mrs. Ron's. Oh, oh, he's lost now.
So I went to a play on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
I went with my mother and my lady and her mother and her brother
Mhm.
and my son, and it was an Oliver.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was an Oliver
It was in
play.
Scarborough, wasn't it?
It
Where
was in
was it?
Scarborough. It was Canadian Finch.
Yeah, that's where Oliver always at. Where else does Oliver play, yo?
Yeah, it was a Canadian Finch, and it was fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how funny it could actually be.
Hmm.
Yeah, the play was
No.
dope.
Yeah, Oliver's wicked. That's good.
I got to sit there and just appreciate the writing of the whole thing because it's just rapid fire, just like entertainment. Like it was just quick one liners, one after the other, one after the other. It's like
Hmm.
a play full of one liners. Before you knew, my son was enjoying it, and that was surprising to me because I didn't know if he could even understand what was happening.
You watched it. You watched it when you were a youth.
Yeah, that's right. Well, my
So
parents
why?
spoke like that. His parents don't speak
Mm,
like that,
mm,
right?
mm.
So for me to turn around and look and see him like laughing his ass off in the play, I was like, this is dope.
That's all right then.
Yeah.
That's all right then. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's wicked.
So
That
how
is
was your
wicked.
Mother's Day?
My Mother's Day was good. My mom's down from Toronto for, I don't know, she's been here Wednesday, Thursday maybe. Went to go grab her. Um, so Saturday we did a little Hamilton tourist stuff. They have this event, I guess. It's called Doors Open Hamilton. I think they have Doors Open Toronto too, but they have Doors Open Hamilton. You can go just different places for free. So
Mm,
like whatever, the art gallery, the castle, stuff like that, just different spots in the area.
hmm
So we did that on Saturday, and then we chilled out most of Sunday, and then me, my daughter and I, or my daughter, my mother, and myself and I went for dinner on Sunday. So it
Okay.
was all right. Yeah.
Where did you guys go eat?
Milestones.
Okay.
There's some milestones in the area, so we did that. My daughter likes
Milestones.
milestones. Mom seemed to like. Well, she didn't want to go at first. She wanted to go to Red Lobster, but I was like, "You can go
Who
to
who
Red
did,
Lobster."
mommy?
Moms. I was like, you know what? You can go to Red Lobster with your $20 combo and your $4 coupon on Monday. On Mother's Day, I'm gonna get you. We're gonna have a good. She's like, it's $20, and I got this, and you get the seniors discount. I was like, nah, moms, we're going to Milestones. I appreciate that it's Mother's Day and you want to go where you want, but no, I am taking you to dinner, and you will enjoy it. Damn it.
And she sit
I
down
don't
there and cuss. She said, somebody did want Red Lobster.
Yeah, the whole time, man. That's all she does. She just been cussing me for the whole week, man. Uh,
Okay.
Bellini, yeah, she had the Bellini for the first time. She was in awe of the Bellini.
Yeah. Isn't
I
that
threw up.
isn't that the thing that keeps the place open? Keep the doors open there?
Yeah, that's their thing at Milestones. So that's I posted a picture that she was smiling finally at the dinner, and it was when she had the Bellini. Deja ordered a Bellini, and they had Bellinis together. So
Don't let the Bellini machine pop down at Milestones. It's
yeah,
a
man.
wrap.
So it goes. So it goes. So yeah, so it was a good Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mothers, all that good stuff.
Shout out to all the mothers.
Mm.
Mama, I. Join me, Sean.
Yeah, nah. You know, I sing in the shower, bro. That's it. Sing in the shower. I rap a lot. I rap a lot out loud, but I sing in the shower. Damn it. So yeah, right, Flint. We don't want to hear that nonsense. Anywho,
Don't hate. Don't hate.
uh, speaking of mothers,
Yes.
I guess we can find out what other people did for Mother's Day, and we can ask some questions about that when we bring our guest out on this fine day.
Who do
I'm
we have
going
here
to.
today, sir?
No, I'm not doing it. You do it. You have to do it because I'll be a wreck by the time the show starts. You must start. You've been
Okay.
practicing. You've been doing this like you did it yesterday, you did it this morning, all that stuff. So you hit it.
All
I'm
right.
sweaty. Remember, I'm sweaty. I'm feeling it already.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here for Pizza in the Break Room, episode 43. T. Hotshot and Couture J. Today we have a special guest by the name of Natalie Wilson, and she is the founder of High Heel Diaries. We're gonna bring her on in a second and find out who she is, find out about her journey, and just have her just enlighten us with everything about her and her organization. All right, so we'll see you in a second.
We here now. We here. Yeah. It's in the break room, y'all. Holla, holla, holla. Woo!
Well.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How
You
are you
guys are hilarious. I'm waiting to jump into some of the conversation. I'm over here just laughing, trying to say, I want to say something. I was like, I'm not on yet.
Fair enough.
Hey.
Well, you can now you can say what you want. I guess that's what we're all about. So
How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
Yeah,
The night has just started. My day has ended. Now the night has started. My Tuesday night. I have a Tuesday night.
it's a thing.
No, you do
Yeah.
this on Tuesday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good routine. It's a good thing to do on Tuesday nights, I think.
Well, I mean, as long as it's a routine, routines are good. I'm trying to establish some more routines in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is a solid Tuesday thing. So thank you
Routine's
for that.
important.
If we didn't bother you tonight, what would you be doing on a Tuesday evening, Natalie?
Boy, you know what? Every Tuesday is different for me. I actually just got in probably about, 45 minutes ago from soccer. So generally during the week, probably four times a week, my son has soccer. It used to be where it was one of the girls, I have two girls and my son, one of their sports, whether it's basketball, soccer, piano, tutoring, what have you. Soccer again for another child. It was like running around, right? Because that's what moms do. I mean, dads do, but in my case, my husband works in the evenings, running his own thing. So it's on mom duty. So now my daughter is 23, my first, and second one's 18, and they both have their own cars, so they do their own things. So it's all about the young man.
Isn't that the best? Once they start driving, like go
Well,
drive
I
yourself
don't
to practice.
know.
Go.
I don't know.
Take it, and go to practice.
I don't know. I'm like, it's good because we don't have to like run around like our heads cut off.
Mhm.
Got to be at A, B, and C at one time, and one person doing all that. So it's good that way, or you can ask one of them to drive the other one somewhere.
Mhm.
It's not good because we got insurance for two young women. We have car payments for two young women, inclusive of our own. So, but the good part about it is that, I train them and I'm a beast on the road. So I know that they're good. This is me on the road.
So when you're sitting beside them, while they're driving, you're good?
Yeah. I feel safe, honestly.
Yeah.
No, honestly. I taught my girls. I'll teach my son. My husband's a little skittish, they're like, ooh, watch the person. You're gonna knock him over.
Right.
Scare them and then they knock the person over. Right? I'm more calm and relaxed.
Okay.
So, you know what? It's a rite of passage. They all have to learn. They all have to have their bumps and bruises, and that's why they don't get a new car right off the bat. They get something used because it's almost guaranteed something's going to happen. So we pray that it's nothing serious, but it is what it is. They're blessed. If we can do that as parents for children, then why not? I mean, I still make sure that they understand that, hey, if you don't have a car, it's okay to take transit. Go walk down the street and get on the bus. It's
right.
It's okay to do that too, right? It's a different generation, man.
So when you say, what's the big difference you see for them, for the kids, that they have everything that they need, or that they don't care for nothing because that's just the world they're in?
They have pretty much. I mean, I think that they have everything that they need, but within reason. I don't believe in spoiling your children to the point that they don't appreciate and understand how hard things come. You know, they need to understand that if we can afford to give it to them, and if they're doing everything right, they're doing well in
deserving,
school,
yeah,
they're respectful, you know, they're not on the street causing mischief and trouble, then you know what, I believe every once in a while, then you get a treat. You know what I'm saying? Like you reward your children for their good behavior. And
I
you
tell
can,
my son, like you do everything that you're supposed to do, and you get anything you want.
Right.
So he doesn't have anything.
Yeah, it's also a lesson. It's a lesson. Bad breed.
Just joking. He's good. He's a good boy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, but it's a lesson in life too, right? It's like that's what they have to learn going forward. That you got to work for what you get. You know, nothing comes free. Nothing's easy. So, and if they're good, then you get lots of nice things. You know, and within reason. I also have them doing yard work and housework and stuff, and I give them a little $20 here and there too. So to know that, like I do all that stuff till this day. My knee got some brown marks on them from like being on the floor scrubbing floors.
Yeah,
I'll always do that because that's how I was raised. That's what we do, you know. So
big up to Channel 9 in the house. Thank you for the bits, sir. Congratulations on your anniversary as well. Big up on the 2 years. I find it's a balance a little bit of knowing that we got to show them the struggle of it, but also kind of not all like we've done. I mean, for the most part, right? We've all done good for ourselves and kind of tried to upgrade our lives a little bit. So kids kind of get that upgrade too, even though they have, like you say, they have to work for it, but they should also know it's different, and it's not always. It's like it's a different struggle now. Right. Yeah. I think no matter what level you're on, there's always going to be a struggle.
Absolutely.
But now it's at least we get to show them a little something different. Yeah. Right. Because I didn't have a car to drive around all the time, my own car. Right. But I know my mom's let me use that car anytime that I wanted to. And now I can do something a little different for my kid. Right. And it's just that.
It definitely. And I like that you said that it totally is a different struggle. And you know, each generation is going to have another different struggle. Like I remember being out on the street, you know, running around playing Nicky Nine Door and playing tag. What?
I guess you might have missed. Was it last week we told the story?
Last week.
Last week I chased some kids. Nicky Nine Doored me. Some high school kids, and I chased them down the street like 2 weeks ago. So that's why I just almost died when you said Nicky Nine Door.
Yeah.
That's just like
I remember doing that. I remember playing tag and hanging out with the boys and the girls and coming home like just after the sun goes down and feeling safe about it. You know, these kids have the fear and the stress of being, you know, in the wrong place at the wrong time and walking down the street, coming innocently from a friend's home, and there may have been a robbery or something up the street, and this kid happens to look like the suspect, and one thing leads to another, and then it ends bad, right? And not saying that didn't happen when we were younger, but it wasn't as prevalent. You know, they have the mental stressors, like the mental health issues these kids are facing these days. Like to be a kid right now and having gone through COVID, I don't know if I could have handled it because, you know, I didn't have this.
We couldn't handle it. No, I don't think we could handle it.
Yeah.
My mom didn't talk to me like I talk to my kids you know, generally about everything in life. You know what I mean? Like I'm in my kids' business, like everything, you know, I need to know everything. And they're good about talking to me about it. Right.
Like you're saying right now,
everything I need to know.
Like you're saying right now, we couldn't handle being quarantined in the COVID and whatnot, because think about it, like we were never inside the house. At least the kids now, you have to fight them to get outside the house. But like imagine them telling us back when we were kids, you have to stay in the house for 6 months.
Yeah.
We're dead.
Yeah. No.
Now the kids are like, you want me to what? Stay home and play video games by myself all day?
Best
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I know, right?
Okay.
And there's that
Right.
fine line with that too, eh? That's one thing sometimes I want to like break down my son's door and throw that thing in the garbage. But no matter how many times you say, okay, you're getting off at 10 o'clock, right? Yeah. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes leads to an hour. I'm like, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah.
Like,
And then
what?
you drop asleep. And then when you wake up, he's like, wait a second, it's 3 a.m. You still on this thing?
Oh, I get so mad. But then, when you think about the stressors, you think, my son has soccer 5 times a week, for instance, and it's straight from school. Sometimes he has to leave school early, come home, change soccer, come home. So it's like from morning till, 9 o'clock at night, he doesn't have that time to just.
Right.
So I allow him, go
Right.
ahead and play. But don't start a game at 11:30 when you know it's going to last you an hour and a half.
This is true. But he's online. But I'm online, Mom. I can't. If I quit the game, I'm going to lose points. I'm going to lose points on my rating.
It is what it is. But as long as your marks are good and you're focused and you're doing all the things that I want you to do otherwise, then, you let some things slide.
Yeah. Because you have to keep it real with them, right? Like we knew what it was like. Or I try to remember what it was like to be a kid or to be that age, and just know that even a little bit of freedom can go a long way. The other way as well. Like a friend of mine, he just mentioned he went, I think it was an overnight trip, but he let his older daughter stay home. And it was just like that age that it was the first time that they were going to stay home alone. And they did it, and everything was good. And the daughter enjoyed that piece of trust, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of goes back and forth.
Right? Independence, and Dad trusts me enough to do this. And so more often than not, you hope that they don't prove you wrong, and and then they can do it again, right? So
yeah, that's the big thing too.
Yeah.
There's lots of learning experiences, I find, I guess. And I think those are the teachable moments too, right?
Yeah. And you know what? At 49, yes, I'm 49. It's still
You must have some good fucking genes.
Oh, I know, right? Talk about genes.
You must have.
Are we going to talk about that? We're going to talk about that.
I'm sure. I'm sure you might see a lover one in the chat today at some point, right?
Yeah. Has he been on? Has he been on?
No.
Been on ever?
No. You didn't send him. You didn't secretly send him the link, did you? No.
What, you didn't send him the link?
No, I didn't actually. Oh, here we
Meanie. You mean.
Lover one in the chat. Lover one in the chat.
When I say it, that's our daddy. He's our true daddy.
Yes.
Daddy, lover one. And before we get there, so as I was saying, what was I saying? Because that's the whole show. What was I saying?
You were talking about the kids,
at 49.
Yes.
That each lesson that I teach my children is a lesson for me too. It's a continuous lesson. Sean, you okay there?
I'm good.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No, I'm fine.
You're looking at things over there somewhere.
No, I'm taking it all in. I'm taking it all in.
Focus, brother. Focus.
No, I'm good.
A lesson for me too. I'm still learning. Still learning about how to be that mom that I always believed I would be. I feel we fail sometimes, or maybe I should fail is a too strong of a word. I feel I sometimes with parenting, I keep moving forward, taking the steps forward, and every once in a while I end up taking a step back, and then I think about it. And I'm like, okay, I can do different. I can apologize. I'm not perfect. I could have said this differently, done that differently, and let's talk about it and move forward. And I think in general in life, I think that's the way we should be. But, I'm not a perfect mom. Sometimes my kids get me like, you're wilding out right now. I'm like, well,
it's good that they can tell you that. I think it's good that my kids, like, they're able to call me at times on stuff. right? Or they feel that they're able. I mean, I might call them right back on something, but that they can do it. It's good, right? That they can be on that level. So I think that's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
So,
No, sometimes I find myself asking my son to audit me. Yeah, like I said, like I ask him like, how am I doing? Like, what would you like? What are you seeing? Like, what would you change? What do you think I need to improve? You know, like he's like, oh no, you're great, Dad. You're great. Like, you goddamn right.
Yeah, the easy way out, right?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it's a good
What
answer.
Does good mean? It's an easy answer. What does good mean? Tell me more. It's like a woman asking her husband.
Oh boy.
No, you
Why
good.
do you love me?
I just do.
Listen, babe.
Because
You're good. Yeah, because Sean, talk some more, Sean. Tell me some more. Share.
I mean, so you brought up Lover One, right? So these guys, a lot of the chat has been around for me telling my, what is it, 23andMe story. So I got my swab and did all the DNA stuff. They heard about, I think I'm going to do a class action lawsuit against 23andMe because of that. Remember, I sent you guys that in the chat, we have a siblings chat. When I got the error.
Oh yes, error one.
Updating the tree, I got an error, and error one also comes in the chat. But so we've talked through Lover One a little bit. So it's nice to have you on here.
Yeah,
so it's nice to have you on here from a perspective of, they also kind of know how invested I was in all the family stuff at that point in time and wanting to do,
so everybody's clear and they understand the relationship. I don't know if
everybody. So we can be clear. This is my sister Natalie, my big sister Natalie. We didn't spend a huge ton of time, but there was a lot of time that I remember when I was younger that was spent hanging out with Natalie, and those were some good times.
Yeah, I remember them very clearly and vividly.
Did you used to beat them up?
No. Never had a need. Never had a need.
That sounds like malarkey.
But listen, when you say big sister, I'm not that much older than you.
That's right. I'm 45. She says she's 49. I mean, like I said,
I'm not even 49. I'm like aging myself. I'm 48. I'll be 49 May 23rd.
48 and a half, yo.
Almost, eh? Okay. Birthday on the horizon.
48 and 350 something days. But being only 4 years older, I never, it's not like that big sister where he was a, pain in the ass or anything. And then I was like, get out of my face. No,
I was a dope baby brother.
Yeah, you were a good baby brother. And we had one of our other brothers around who was the biggest of the brothers. And, but when I used to visit you and Dad and Andrea, it was for a short period of time. So it was always a nice time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being in the halls and, playing in the hallway and in the stairwell. And Nikki was proud of it. And then having my godmother, Auntie Jean, and my cousin Nikki not too far away either, because it was a apartment complex where
they were in the buildings too, right? She lived in the building, right? Yeah, right.
Aurora Court, man.
Yeah. Big up.
I don't forget those things. And honestly, out of all my siblings, if I was to say who I know and remember and was the closest to, it was really only you that I remember growing up. And Teddy, Edward, right?
Yeah. Not allowed to call him Teddy anymore.
Yeah,
he's too old for that.
I'm sorry.
That's call him Edward. I think that was like the family chat.
Sergeant Edward. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't call him Teddy. It's Teddy.
Yes. Oh, so this one. There's got to be our other sister Eleanor in the chat.
Yeah, and Eleanor. So I was not excluding you, Elle, but what I was saying is growing up, because I didn't know Eleanor growing up. Growing up is it's you. That's what I remember. So there's a fondness there. And then we have our sisters Jaden and Eleanor, and yes, that I've met growing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's how many siblings do we have on dad's side?
I'll tell
Oh,
you.
Well, I used to always say 19, but
we should put up the poll. We should get it right. That's hilarious.
20.
Oh man, yeah. At last check, that's right. It was 13.
Yeah.
Lucky 13.
You sure?
Well, I mean, error one, right?
But I feel
Big
like
Flint.
Dad made a family tree years ago, and I counted, and I counted 19. Is that too much?
That one he sent out. I started with that one. That's how I started my thing. I'll send it. I have to send it to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's funny.
I'm a family person, and I wish that I knew everyone. I do, but not everybody is willing and open to have a relationship. It's like we've been strangers, so they're happy enough to keep it that way, and you have to respect that. Like, I can't force myself on any of our siblings if they don't want it. There's others that I've touched base with through WhatsApp or Messenger, and we have a relationship on that level. But yeah, and you know what, it's part of my life. I think what bothers me the most is that there's blood out there that I don't know.
Yeah,
and I think that's what
I was working through with that. And I wanted to find people and make sure that, because I find for me, it's different. I think I'm probably the one that knows everybody, right? I think I know all the aunts and uncles, been on those trips, the cousin, like that type of stuff.
How so? Like, how did you end up getting so involved? Like, through what means? Through Dad, or through you on your own?
No, this is when I was younger, so not as much now, which is why I'm back at it again, I guess, kind of, because I kind of lost track of all that.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, well, he lived with us for a while, right? So at that age, until I was like 8 or 9, maybe. So I'd be on those trips, and then he lived close once we weren't together. So I still had that interaction until I was like 14, 15 maybe, and then it kind of changed. And then I got like angry a little bit because I was old enough to figure everything out at that point in time. Because I'm hanging out with brothers and sisters that are like 2-3 years different than me. I didn't understand that as a 5 and 6 year old. Right. I understood that as a 13, 14-year-old. You know what I mean? And then I could put stories together. Then it's a little bit different, right? So
there was a reason why his license plate was called Lover One, yo.
Lover One. Man. For real.
Nigel, to this date, my husband, to this date, like whenever he sees Dad, he always has to say Lover One. He always has to call him out. Always.
That's what's up. Big up to a few people in the chat. So Select the Jinx, thank you for stopping by. That boy Jer IQ Remix. Happy Tuesday, y'all. I'm sure I'm missing people. Seashells, all y'all. Big up. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Thank you all for being here. If you're not following Pizza in the Break Room, I would ask you to click the button, follow Pizza in the Break Room. If you're watching online and you're not involved in the chat, sign up, join the chat, get involved.
Chat's fun. And of course, please follow High Heel Diaries. Heel is Heal.
Heal.
On
all
everything.
the healing.
It's up in the chat and stuff like that. So how about you tell us a little bit about that? Tell us about just High Heel Diaries. What is this?
What is High Heel? Well, let me give you a little bit of background as to why.
Please.
Tell us the inception of. Tell us how we got. How about tell us how we got here?
How we got here? Are we here yet?
I don't know. We're here right now.
So, I have to go back and just start with, growing up. We all have a story, and it starts from not only from the moment we, are involved in any kind of trauma or struggle in our life. That's not where our story begins. It starts with our family. It starts with our family life. That's where we are, where we're starting to be groomed and prepared. And I not unlike many others, I think we've had a little bit of a uh, no, I don't want to say anything inappropriate as far as my upbringing, because I was never an unhappy child.
Mhm.
But there is a struggle with regards to that dynamic that you would like to have as far as a mom, dad, and children. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You kind of have this idea in your head about what that should look like, and
For sure.
when you get married, you have this idea of what you want that to look like, and it doesn't always end up being like that. And for whatever circumstances, there might be, that happens sometimes in families, and that happened in my family growing up with my mom. And I give her props because she made the decisions to make that she did, because it was in the best interest of her children. I suppose she made those decisions for, as well as herself. And I have an older sister, older brother, with a father. I have myself with my father, and my younger sister with her father, and so be it, right? But I had a lot of different parenting going on, if you will.
Okay.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? A lot of
Get you.
different,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but that's that, and it was what it was. And my mom did everything that she could to make sure that we were stayed on the straight and narrow, and had us in good schools and good neighborhoods, and always had clothes and food on our back. So I'm blessed and happy about that. But I think it kind of shaped my idea of what I wanted or didn't want in my life going forward.
Mm.
So you fast track, and met my husband at 14, been together since 16, and now we've been married for 24 years. But before that, so in the earlier days of our marriage, we had our first daughter, Morgan, born in 1999. And in 2003, I'm going to just skip a few years. We did a lot of traveling and all that. In 2003, my youngest sister was shot and killed.
Mm.
And that was the beginning of the true turmoil and the true struggles in my life, whereby I was now realizing that life is very short, how
Mm.
fleeting it can be. I'm an emotional human being. Like, I don't know if I can make it through this conversation today without shedding a tear. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
We got you.
It doesn't really matter. But what I'm saying is that's how I am as a person. I always said I would never be able to manage if someone died in my family.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
then I get my sister who died by gunshot to the heart, who had the biggest heart in the world,
Mm.
whose murder is unsolved, whom reached out to me on New Year's Day when I didn't respond because I don't know, you don't take calls sometimes. I'll get back to them. And then January 6th, she was shot. So I live with that. Um, my husband retired in that year, 2003, and life took some more changes. I became pregnant at 4 months after my sister died. Was pregnant for 4 months, lost that child at 4 months gestation, and it took another 5 months to get pregnant. Got pregnant with my second daughter, Paris, who came out looking everything like Aisha. God sent her back, everything like her. I truly, if I didn't believe in reincarnation before, I definitely, like,
Yeah.
everything she does, her soul, her being, her light, her old soul is Aisha. Everything about her. And then my son was born in 2007. So it's funny how things work. Whether people believe in the universe or God or whatever. I'm Catholic. I believe in God, and I think he was preparing me for the biggest struggle that I was going to come across in my life, and that was breast cancer. So in 2008, after my son was 5 months old. I stopped nursing early. Usually I nurse my kids for almost a year, and I was like, he was born September 11th. Christmas time, I was like, la, this, yeah, yum, and I couldn't deal with it. It's like, suck, 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 child here, Christmas wrapping, all kinds of things going on. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stop this nursing thing. And I was supposed to stop nursing because 2 months after that is when, your boobies go down, no more milk. I don't know if you guys don't know about that, but you ladies know about that.
I read it in a book somewhere.
I know because you have children. So anyways, that was when I felt the lump in the shower on my own. And had I been nursing, I wouldn't have felt it. And I had a mammogram and ultrasound. They both had said that it was nothing. And I just knew instinctively that this was not nothing. I know my body. And so I always, when I speak to women, I tell them, know your body, feel yourself up, know what's normal so that you know what's not normal. So you know what's abnormal. And so they sent me to another doctor, and they decided to take out the lump 6 months later. And the lump was cancerous. High grade, aggressive growing, ductal carcinoma in situ. Lymph nodes were clear, but when they gave me the options of removing the lump and going through radiation, or removing most of my breasts and not having radiation, I chose to remove.
Sorry, say that again.
I chose to do the mastectomy, so I chose to remove the full breast.
So remove the breast, no radiation.
No radiation, exactly.
Okay.
So that I chose that option, thinking in my head it's more radical. Get rid of the breast, and then I get rid of the cancer, right? In my head, but they gave me the option of leaving my nipple and areola, and I have no problems talking about this with anybody because, man, y'all can get cancer too, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Breast cancer too, and I explain it because I want everybody to know, to understand that you have to look for and feel for and understand your body. And I removed my breast but left the nipple because for one young woman, it was important to me to be able to build my breast back, and having normal looking breasts was important. I was 35 years old, so went ahead, did the surgery, had quite a few complications, hematomas, blood clots. Like, I had massive complications with my reconstruction. So between 2008 and 2016, I had 12 surgeries at that time, 13 surgeries at that time.
That's
and
8 years of surgeries.
8 years of surgeries. And because I also chose to remove the other breast. So I didn't just do one side. I chose to do both because in my head, I know my personality, I would worry about it forever. Having had it on one, I wanted to just get rid of the other. And I know a lot of women choose that, because same idea. They fear that. I mean, there's no study saying that just because you have it on one, you can have it on the other.
Right.
But I think women just feel better. And, aesthetically, you rebuild at the same time, you get everything done. Fast forward into 2016, now going on to my last and 13th surgery. And I was excited because I was like, finally going to be able to be done with this. And in the meantime, between 2008 and 2016, I was going through all the emotional roller coasters of the healing, physical, emotional, all that stuff, right? And in 2016, when I was going to my last surgery, I noticed that my nipple and areola didn't look right. I was like, Doc, you know what? Like, something's not right here. But she said, I'll check it out when we go in for surgery. And came out. She didn't say anything to me, recovered, went home, came back to the doctor to get the stitches out 2 weeks later. And she told me that there was cancer in my nipple. So she wanted to go back into, obviously she had to remove that piece. And then I had complications from that, went back in for another surgery. She fixed the complications, but did some more exploratory surgery where she found further cancer. So this is like, about a month and a half later. So within 2 months, there's nipple cancer and then further cancer. And so now a woman would say, you've had a mastectomy. How do you get cancer again if you remove both your breasts?
Right.
So, and I think this is what misleading for women is to think that once they get rid of their breast, they're good. You never get rid of your full tissue and vessels and blood supply. And if you have some left, then you have a possibility of having cancer come back, right? And for me, the reason it came back into my nipples because when you leave your nipple, you have to leave some tissue and some blood supply for your nipple as an organ. The nipple
All
has to
right.
supply; it has to survive. So therefore, the cancer that it had underlying had grown into the nipple. So it's a good thing again that I was like intuitive to know that there was something wrong here, right? I don't think the doctor would have took a piece of the nipple if I didn't say, "Hey, there's something wrong."
Right.
So um,
Right.
surgery number 16 was to now go in, and she's like, "Well, I got to remove that whole reconstructed breast." So I was like, "Yo, did I just
Well,
go through 14, 15 surgeries to have this reconstruction now where I thought I'm good, I feel good, they look decent, you know, to now have to remove this all over again?" And at this point, like literally, this was like, and it was like an epiphany for me. Now this is 16th surgery, and I'm like, really? And I'm thinking to myself, so I'm in the hospital and I'm hearing my doctor say this, and all I am thinking is like, let's just do what we need to do to get rid of this. Okay. I was just in mode of let's get this done, get it out of me. I don't want this to go any further than where it is right now. And I'm talking to the doctor, and I look over, and there's my husband like bawling like a baby. And I'm now having to like put my feelings in check to comfort him. And I was like, well, what's wrong? He's like, I'm just tired of you having to go through this. Like again? So she's gonna remove the breast. So all the surgeries were all for naught, and now you have to remove the breast. So I was like, you know what, at this point, okay, I comfort him. Doc, okay, what's next? Book me another surgery. Let's get rid of this bad booby. And I was back in, a week later to remove the breast. Now, at that point, like I said, I felt like, not like I was numb, but I was feeling that there was a message here. And I was like, I can't have had cancer 3 times and have caught it, whether it's by divine, intervention, by grace, by my own doing, by the doctors and them following up. But it was caught. And here's
Three
my point.
times.
3 times, where there's so many women that were so unlucky and didn't have, the I don't know what you want to call it, the resources, the knowledge, the education, what it is to be able to self-advocate and know that, what, I feel something, so let me go to the doctor. Too often, especially in our West Indian culture, where we leave them things alone. We just like, I'll be good. Let me drink some, sour sop and I'm fine. No, I'm just saying we have to. We're in Western society, man. We have the resources here, and we have the medical system to use, and we're blessed to be in Canada to have it be free. And I kicked fast. I was ready. I said, I know so much now after 8 years. I've learned so much. I have gone through so much. I have gone through the emotional roller coaster of it all. There is this write up called it's just basically the 10 stages of healing, emotional healing, by Dr. Gail Goodwin, and she goes through all the stages of healing, the moving on, the depression, the anger, being okay with the all those stages. And I feel
10
like
stages of healing.
10 stages of healing. I have it somewhere and I wanted to read them off, but it's by Dr. Gail Goodwin. Oh, here it is. Shock, denial, pain, bargaining, depression, surrender, recovery, rebirth, moving on, and philanthropy. And I wanted to read them off because at the end of 2016, last surgery, I felt like I was at that philanthropy stage. And some would say, okay, you're going through breast cancer, you just had your 16th surgery, and you want to do what? You want to give back and you want to talk and you want to build a platform to help people. Like, don't you want to just take it easy and just recover? I'm like, I did so much of that throughout those 8 years. And I've seen so much. And I never had social media before then. And I said, I was laying in bed with I was lying in bed. One of my girlfriends came to visit, Bridget. And she's like, I was talking to her and she's like, Natalie, she's like, you're so strong and you're so wise about it all. And you seem like you have so much to say and so much to talk about and so much to explain and share, and she says you should do something with that. And I was like, yeah, you say, you
Yeah.
guys pizza in the break room. I'm sure like you probably never thought that
Never
you
ever.
this, right?
There was a lot of yeah.
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 And I decided, I sat with another friend and I was like, I want to do this. And we thought of a name and she came up with the play on words for heal, because
Super
high,
clever, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good
yeah,
one.
yeah. High is about we women as we go through life, we're always like strong and high and mighty, and we put our heels on and we take care of family and house and business and man, and we do all that we're supposed to do to keep ourselves strong, but we forget about our interior, our healing, our pain, our grief, our struggle, and we forget to heal. And so I thought, until you take off them heels, those high heels, and address your issues and address your pain and your grief and your struggle, and open up those diaries, you're never going to really be on that path to being okay. And so my platform is, I decided to take 2016, 2017 off because I was like, you know what, no more surgeries for me right now. I just need to like
Right.
take a break. I need to think about, why am I rebuilding? Why am I going through all these surgeries? Why am I doing this? Is it because I don't feel like a woman if I don't have breasts? Is it because I don't feel like I'm going to be attractive to my husband if I don't have breasts? Like, what is it? And I needed to understand that before I put myself under the knife again. Because every time that happens, there's a chance I don't come out. Right. So High Heel Diaries came into inception. And I knew that with all of the hats that I wore, I wanted to put it all in one place. And, I was a makeup artist at Dior Cosmetics for 4.5 years. And I remember working, my son was 1 when I started to work with them. And I remember working with women that have had cancer that wanted to do fix their face because they wanted to look better, feel good, look better. And I believe in that, and I remember having face-to-face, deep in-depth conversations with women. And that's where I got the bug for speaking. And so I've incorporated, I should say, the inner and outer beauty, so facials and makeup, into High Heel Diaries, sharing stories. So I have the YouTube talk show, High Heel Diaries, on YouTube, where any woman or man that wants to share their story of struggle and triumph. And I have the emphasis on triumph because I want to show people that you can be at a place where you're not good, where you've struggled, where you've hurt, and come out of it. Right. And
is that cancer stories? Only
not
cancer
only,
stories?
not only if it's
struggle
women
and
that
triumph.
struggle and triumph.
Okay.
Anything. Divorce, separation, Crohn's, sexual abuse,
Bankruptcy,
fibroids, what have you, cancer, of course, right? So that's a big part of High Heel Diaries, and motivational speaking. So I've spoken at a ton of female groups, cancer groups, female empowerment. It's also a female empowerment platform. It's, get up, rise up, understand and appreciate your journey and be okay with it. Right? Don't never be ashamed of what you've gone through. Never be ashamed of where you are, where you at, because I guarantee you, those who pretend like they're not struggling and they haven't gone through it are struggling very, very hard. They're going through it hard. So anybody who wants to pretend like they ain't dealing with it, I know you're going through it, and it's okay. It's okay to talk about it. But on top of that, you can't just talk your business with everybody, though, right? You can't talk your business with everybody. You have to find the right forum, the right platform, the right person to share your stories with. I decided that not everybody is at that place where they're, say, at the stage where they want to be like on the show where they can talk about their struggle and triumph. They're struggling. They're still in the struggling phase and they want to get there.
Right.
So I said, I want to learn the techniques to help someone to get to that place, that better place. So I became a certified coach practitioner. So so I coach and help to support and help people to find a place. So recognize, we work with a program called cognitive reflex conditioning. So it's realizing that, okay, I have this concern, issue, problem in my life. I'm stuck. I'm here.
All right.
Realizing that, recognize that things need to happen, things need to be put in motion in order to make those changes, right? It's like drug addict, just like smoker. Yeah, you have a problem. You're never going to get rid of the habit or the problem until you say, hey, you know what? Okay, I have this problem. It's going to cause health issues, which then can cause me to possibly die prematurely. Let me do something about it. Find those habits and those things that you can put into your life and repeat them over and over again. So replace and then repeat. So that's the plan that we use here with the life coaching. What else do I do?
You say you said repetition. Repetition.
Yeah, repeat. That's final. Repeat. Like we're creatures of habit, right? Whether it's good habits or bad habits. If we're involved in something bad for us, like if it's something that we know, why would you change it? That's what's comfortable for me, right? Why am I changing it? It's what I know. Even if it's painful, it's like it's more painful thinking of change.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Change is more painful for some people. So I've done a lot of like body positivity photo shoots, like you'll see me all spread out on my page because I'm okay with my body, and a lot of women are struggling with that, right?
How do people respond to you when they see you being so super comfortable with your body?
I it's all positivity. I've never heard anything negative with regards to that, and I think it's because I put myself in a place where people see themselves wishing that they could do that because they're in such a place in their life with their body that they're hiding, they're ashamed, they don't love it. But my scars are part of my journey, and I'm proud of my journey because of where it's taken me, and it's taken me to a place where I feel like I'm better off now after having gone through all my struggles and triumphs than I was before it. I understand life better. I understand relationships better. I self-advocate better and more. I love myself more because I'm super proud of what I've gone through and how I've come out of it. Right? And I don't think about it enough. I hear about it a lot. I hear people tell me a lot how amazing, how amazingly I've gone through what I've gone through, and I'm still here kicking and, making up noise and happy and, don't look like a cancer survivor. I get that all the time. I don't know what a cancer survivor looks like, but if this is what an example of a cancer survivor looks like, then hey, look at me. Look at me. Take a picture, copy that. Right? Yeah. Like it's like, don't let anything stop you. I have a scar from here all the way down to down my stomach because I had an umbilical hernia when I was an infant, and then again surgery when I was 14, and then again after children were born. So then I have 3 cesareans. So I have like an upside down T, and then my breasts are, I got this happy face, right, on both sides. So they're always smiling at you, right? Sean.
No, they're not.
Like, movies are always smiling. Yeah, they are.
She's like, yes, they are.
It like might be a little bit of a lopsided smile, and I'm okay with that, yo. I'm okay with that. You have to laugh about it. I've been through enough of this serious bullshit. I'm
For
just,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. Awesome.
I have to let it loose, and I enjoy my life. I enjoy every moment. If I want to travel, I travel. If you can't come with me, then I'm gone anyways, because I'm not waiting.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting, you know. I live my life. I live my best life right now, and people have come in and out of my life, and that's okay too. Yeah, I've learned my lessons from that. I'm not bitter about it. I say thank you for the lesson, right?
Say
So
word.
that's my story. I'm so sorry that was so long, but you know,
No,
it's
that was
important.
actually that was
No, no,
super
yeah.
insightful and beautiful and amazing and
Yeah,
inspiring. And
it's not short,
no,
and
it's
it's not over. So, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not done. So, so I took time off for the surgical procedures because, again, I needed to figure it out, right? And funny enough, and I don't know, like I wish I could see if anybody had any comments. Are you guys do you guys have like you see that stuff? Because
Yeah,
I
a
want to
little
know
bit.
if there's any women out there that have gone through any surgical procedure that wasn't elective that needed to do because they needed to fix something on their body. Um, I've had 22 surgeries to date. My last one was in 2020, just before the pandemic. And they were because I decided after my little break to reconstruct again. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Thank you, Miss Ronci, Mrs. Ronci. Thank you. Um, so I decided the only surgery that was available to me was to do the latissimus dorsi. So they took a flap from behind my back here. They took a chunk of my latissimus dorsi muscle, my lat muscle, with fat and tissue and skin, literally about that big, and they move it through a tunnel underneath my arm, and then they attach it to my breast, and then they start to rebuild, and they add fats and fat grafting. I've had fat from my inner thigh, from my outer thigh, from my side, from my flanks. I mean, I've had my legs have been black and blue for months at a time because of the removal of fat. It's not an easy process. My
Mm-hmm.
flanks have been black and blue for yeah, and so finally I've been rebuilt back, right? And over the time of friendship, social media, whatever, what have you, I've heard, and even you know what, and I don't think people mean ill, but you get, why are you doing surgery again? Why are you putting yourself through that? You're
Mm.
good. You're healthy. Your cancer is gone. You look great. Listen, don't let anybody tell you what to do with your body. That's my first message. My second message is you don't see what I see when I take my clothes off,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
right? It's a how about men have their penis cut off and ask them if they're okay? Ask them if, are you okay with that? Or
I
are
was
you
thinking
going to
about
try,
that today when I was
or
thinking
yeah,
about you.
or are you going to do, yeah? Are you going to do whatever it takes to try to build that back as best as possible to
Mm.
look like and be as functional as possible as a normal penis? So, why, for me, or for any woman that has had their breast cut off because of something that they didn't ask for? Sean, you okay, hun?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you keep talking. You keep speaking.
Any,
Oh,
if there was something that I didn't ask for this, and now if I have options at my disposal in order to rebuild, then you damn skippy, I'm going to do that, right? And if it takes me 20 surgeries because of the complications that I had, to me, the end goal was to feel and look as normal as a woman as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could show y'all, but I don't think you need to see my boobs right now. But they're nothing like a woman that hasn't had any problems. They look nothing
Mm-hmm.
like that. They look okay right now, but they're not. But I love them. They're mine. These are my battle wounds, man. These are
Mm-hmm.
my battle scars, and I'm proud of them. And so when I'm asked to be a part of a mission of showing people that, you know what, it's okay, you know, scars are good, you know, it's a story to tell, they're beautiful. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm like, look at me. This tells a story. This tells a story. This tells a story, right? Everything you see on my body has a story, right? So, and people are need to be a little bit more cognizant of what they say to women that are going through this. And yes, I understand that. Aren't you tired of surgery? Or aren't you, we don't want you to go through. I know the message is we don't want to see you hurting anymore. We don't want to see you go through surgery and pain and recovery again. And I get it. I appreciate
Right.
it.
Right.
But you have to be careful as how you put it across, right? Because those who are enhancing their boobs and their breasts just electively, all they do is look, girl, you look good. That's what they get. But when we do it because we want to feel like a woman again, it's like, why? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's it is what it is, man.
It's life. It's a story.
Yeah. So I'm good. I mean, it's taught my kids some valuable lessons, that's for sure. Resiliency. They've seen me they've seen me go through some very difficult, dark times.
Let me ask you this,
Yeah.
because you speak about your kids now.
Mm-hmm.
Being married with children, did that give you any type of like strength to go through what you're going through?
Oh,
Like, do you think it would have been different if you had no children and you weren't married?
absolutely.
Like your
Absolutely.
experience?
Yeah, 100%. Because, and it sounds cliche. It's like I knew I had to push through for that. Right. And I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of women that have had, or men, or anybody that's had cancer or any issue really health wise, if they have children, they push through because of their loved ones. Because I want to be here for my children. I want to see my children grow and, go through all the different rites of passage and have children and be grandma and do all those things. You know what I mean? And, I have a stepdaughter, my husband's first daughter, and she has three. We have three grandchildren. And, I'm blessed to be here to see them grow. They don't live here in Toronto anymore. They live in Atlanta, but, I'm here to see them. And I look forward to seeing, my other children get married and have children. But I definitely know that was a push. It gives you that will to live, that push,
Mm-hmm.
that drive. In addition, the support from them, the love from them, the them making me feel good and feel happy, and always supporting me. Like, my kids are always on my social media. They see everything I do. I don't hide anything from them. They watch my stories. They're there at any event that I speak at, any awards that I've been awarded. They're always there to support me. When I look out and I see them, it just makes me feel so good. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely having them. And on top of that, like, I know my husband can't boil water, so I can't leave my children with
Yikes.
Well, you
so
gotta bat up. You gotta bat up the man for it. Jeez. Oh.
I'm like, I gotta make sure I'm here because my children need to have some good food.
No,
It's
he's
just
pretending. He's pretending. He can do it.
he did awesome. He did amazingly, supporting me through the struggle, supporting, being that dad that turns around and has to do everything because he had to do everything, you
Right.
know. And that's another part of this, is that sometimes you forget about the people that are there caring for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is not only my journey or my struggle. This
Because
is their
everybody's around you. Yeah.
struggle as well. And for a period, and that was part of my healing process. Like, I was at stages where I thought, you're not going through this, I'm going through this, until I had to go through counseling myself to understand that, hey, no, just because he's not upstairs holding your hand and rubbing you and saying, hey, baby, it's going to be okay, and watching TV with you and all that, doesn't mean, or that you're not seeing him cry, on a regular basis, or upset. It doesn't mean that he's not struggling, right? He'd come home from work sometimes, like, he'd be in and out, make sure I'm good, feed me, blah, 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 help me to bathe, dry me up, like literally dry me everywhere, and
Mm-hmm.
go out there, come back. make sure I'm okay. And then he'd go and I wouldn't see him for a few hours throughout the night. I'm like, oh, where are you? I need you to be here. Like, I need you by my side. And, it was counseling, and through counseling and divulging that he didn't want to show his feelings to me because he was bent. He was broken. He was crying and upset. And he didn't want to show me that because he needed to be strong for me. Right.
Right.
So while I'm upstairs, like cussing, wishing he was there, and where are you? How come you're not here? And, he's downstairs, a mess,
Struggling.
right? I could lose the mother of my kids, and, how am I going to do this on my own, and all that kind of stuff. So I took it, had to take a different approach to his distance and rely on others to give me that emotional support as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's not an overly like affectionate kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's a macho, I'm gonna take care of the family type of guy. And he did that. He did that. And I thank him for that. And did everything physical that he needed. Like, I bad the man up. I know that. Like, I was a roughneck. I know. Well, it was the drugs.
It was the drugs. I'm not usually like this.
I was a roughneck. I know. It was the drugs. Say word.
I was mean sometimes, and I was in pain, and you're not massaging me well enough, and you're not creaming my foot properly, and I was ill patient, and and that's why when I talk, I'm like, I went through all that and I understand it. And I was a biatch, and I know that. And I apologize for that.
Mm-hmm.
No excuses, but I know why, So, and it takes a village. It took a lot of people to help, me get through the surgeries and, move the children from place to place and come in and cook. I had to let go of, nobody can clean my house like me, so I don't need to clean my house. It was, okay, come in and wash my drawers, do what you need to do. Thank you. Like, I had to just let it go. Like,
so the cleaning thing, that's your thing? Like, that's your...
I'm clean. I used to want to be a maid when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
That's how crazy.
Insight.
That's how crazy I am. That's how anal I am about cleanliness. And I'm very particular. I'm type A personality, and I like things a certain way and organized, like crazy organized. It's part of what I do. I'm a licensed paralegal as well, and I'm a manager.
You're Jamaican, aren't you?
Yeah, man. I've many
since you've been on this thing, you're talking about 6 jobs.
Badges,
lazy coconut,
badge all the way down the arm, yo.
Oh, and I had my own interior design and decorating business for 12 years. So hence yeah. So I had to let a lot go. I had to okay, come cook my food, and I had to accept and say, don't worry about it. It might not be like how you would do it, Natalie, but it's being done to the best of somebody else's ability. So be quiet.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I like my shirts folded a certain way.
It doesn't matter that they're folded; they have to be sold. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So when you go in there and not folded the right way, you take them on. What is this?
I don't say that. I just unfold it and fold it back. Because they have to go in the drawer a certain way. Okay, so if they're not folded properly, then they're not going to.
It's not working.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do I need to come and check your closet, Sean?
No, huh? I'm good. No, I'm good. I fold my stuff a certain way too. So
good. There you go.
Sounds like two type A's over there and a type C over here.
Is that what's up?
It works. It works. It works for me. So, hey, and it's worked. I've had to be organized in my life with the 3 children and a husband that's not organized at all. Lord, don't get me started. But that's his personality. Whatever works for him, eh?
My guy.
Whatever works for him. Whatever works or doesn't work. Everybody's got a method to their madness. That's at the end of the day, right?
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, God is good. I had to find my faith, man. I had to
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask if you had spiritual connection, and if so, was it fortified after?
Fortified during, more fortified after. I think I walk through life seeing and feeling messages on a regular basis. I'm more open to hearing and seeing and feeling the messages that may have been there before. And going through life, I was a Catholic, and we went through baptism and communion and confirmation and all those wedding and all that. And then you have I believe you have a relationship with God, or whoever your creator is. Doesn't have to be under a house of worship. You have your relationship with God, and that became stronger after going through what I went through, for sure. And let me tell you some of the things that I experienced as messages of him saying, I got you. You're here for a reason. There's a purpose as to why you're here still. Make good on your purpose, on this purpose. Fulfill your destiny. And I don't want to sound all like corny and everything, but I believe we all have that from the moment we are conceived. We our destiny is planned, our path is planned, and and those who pass before their time or early, it's you don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear someone say to them, "Well, it was part of the plan or part of the message." And I'm not trying to say that to people, but that's my way. And after experiencing so much death in people, women that I've met along the way, of people that are just dying left, right, and center around me, that's what gives me solace, is understanding that their time here was their time here. And it's not them who is hurting. It's the people that are left here on this earth that are hurting. Right? Because this world is a messed up place. Right? And it's those that are left here that have to deal with the struggle. They have to deal with the person that's gone. They're good.
I just had that conversation today with someone. Yeah. And she said, only thing worse than being dead is being alive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right, Christy. We all have, she said, I believe that we all have paths as well. Absolutely. We have a path. And, there's times when I literally pull over and I just well up with tears because of something that just happened, or a message or a call, a phone call, or something that I got. Teddy, who's that? Teddy Mack, 1967.
That is the Teddy. Natalie.
Is it our Teddy?
Yes.
Oh, see, he's calling himself Teddy.
All right, okay, that's good to know.
Yes, brother.
Big brother.
Yeah.
That's
don't
good
come
to
back
know.
here if you don't come see me. Don't come back here if you're not going to come see me. June. Okay, good. What was I saying? So, I pull over. There's just things that happen in life that I just like, wow. That can only come from one being, our creator. That only came from him. That could only have come from him. And I feel these things so strongly. People that come into my life, the people that I meet for different reasons, and the journey that we journey together on. I don't take those things lightly at all. And even when things go awry with people that were your friends or you thought were your friends, and they so happen to something comes up and they're not your friend anymore. It's like we're in elementary school, but whatever. But they're no longer in your circle.
Yeah.
That's all good.
All good.
It's all good because
I've learned that.
They were here for a time. They were here for a time and for a reason, and you have to look at what the message was, what the purpose was in that relationship, right? So,
there's a question here.
Yeah. Natalie, have you experienced that you live with a gratitude attitude since your cancer? Absolutely. definitely gratitude, grateful. Um, I don't take anything for granted. I believe, to always be thankful, like in everything that happens, people that bring, you know, whatever they bring to your life. I'm like, thank you. Like if I think of someone and I haven't spoken to them in a little while, I'm not gonna just be, okay, I'm gonna call her later. I will pick up the phone and say hey, and if they've brought something to my life, or if I know that they need something, or if they're struggling or need to hear something, I pick up the phone, I call. I just feel like we need to do what we need to do now,
Hmm.
because life
Hmm.
is so fleeting. We don't know when, we get up and go get gas, or go to Shoppers Drug Mart, or go leave to go to work in the morning or whatever, if we're coming home,
No, you're absolutely right. Life is
right?
fleeting. Yeah.
Yeah. And definitely grateful, and don't take anything for granted. And I love hard. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and that's one thing that I will not change. I've been burned by it several times, but I will never change. I'll never change. That's who I am. That's how I am. So,
The person that just asked that question, Tenacious Butterfly, she's also a cancer survivor.
oh,
And I think you should have a chat with her
yeah.
on your talk show, because
Anybody,
it'd
please
be
reach out
super
to
awesome
me.
to hear you two
Yeah.
go at it.
I'm email's good. Send me a message on DM, but my email is highheeldiaries@gmail.com. But I respond to everybody. If you send me a message on IG, I respond to everybody. Of people I've like messaged me from like all over the world. Like I have so many people that I literally talk to all over the world, that we support and build. We have a community on social media, and I had no idea that the impact that my story would have, because sometimes you feel like you're just a little fly, you're just a little fry in this world, and people's stories are sometimes more impactful. I've never been that person that ever compared my story to another person's story, and I don't believe anybody should ever do
Right.
that, to say, oh well, you didn't go through chemo or radiation, so you don't know what it's like, Natalie.
Hmm.
No, I've lost both my breasts. I've had 20 surgeries. I've wanted to take my life on many occasions. I've, you know, been through near divorce. Like, yeah, it's been rough. So
Mm.
I have a story to tell, and
Yes.
it's my story. Your story is your story, and your struggle is your struggle, and it's indicative of what you know and what you understand, right?
When do you think you started to own the story? Was there a time where you were like changed from, you know, one thought process and then turned it to, this is my story, I'm going to own it, here I go? Was there a
Um,
time or an
yeah,
event or anything like that?
I want to say that after 2016, so within 2016, end of year 2016, when I kind of, like I said, I knew then that I couldn't have possibly caught we couldn't have caught this a third time, and caught it at such an early stage that surgery will take care of it, and it will be fine. Knock on wood, right? Because sometimes you never know if they miss something, but I'm still here. And I knew in my heart of hearts that I will be here. And I know I have to be here because I got so much to say.
Hmm.
I got so much to say. And I knew that I had to get it started. I had to get it together and put something out there so that people can hear what I had to say.
Did you always have so much to say,
I,
or did your journey give you so much to say?
I'm lava mouth. Okay, so I always have something to say. um,
When I tell you, type here.
I'm a hard act to follow. I'm a type A. I'm lava mode. Yeah, all this stuff. No,
But at some point you harness the message though, right? Like type A
yeah,
or not, at
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
point you, right?
I feel like I've always been a talker. I'm like, communication is so important to me. Um, and like communication to me is like at the top of the, it's your roof. And if you don't have communication in any relationship, in anything you do, whether it's work, friendships, parenting, marriage, whatever, everything else underneath, like the water is going to get in and it's going to seep down and it's going to create mold, right?
Okay.
It's going to damage everything. And so I've always been a talker. And, I've always had in my head, okay, if this isn't working, well, let's find another way to figure it out. Like, even when you're going through, and anybody should do this in relationships. Like if you're struggling a lot, let's sit down and say, okay, I used to do this. Write down pros and cons, like what you like and don't like about me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll write what I like and don't like about you, or what we struggle with and what's good. And let's exchange and talk about them, and the things that you don't like or that you wish that could be different with me, that is causing strife in our relationship, and vice versa. Let's try to put the effort into fixing that. Right. So I've always been like a thinker, a planner, a person wanting to solve, like negotiate.
So you take criticism good then?
And most of the time, okay, I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so analytical and I think things through, and I've always been the person that I am, hence why I'm in the field that I am in.
Next
legal.
job again.
Yeah. I have to say I have a pretty good, darn good handle on how to go about something. Okay. I'm not saying I'm no one's perfect, and I'm not saying by any means am I perfect, but I have a pretty good darn way of knowing how to say, okay, you know what? This ain't working right. Let's try to fix it. If you want to say something to me about what I'm not doing right, fine, tell me. But make sure you're pretty much right about what you're saying, right? I'm not saying that each person's opinion is right or wrong, but if you say something outlandish and you know that you're just fishing and you're just making up stuff to make me look like it's equal, like there's don't try to be equal. Just like own up to you. I'll own up to me. But like I said, I feel like I'm pretty good about, you know what? This is not working. Let's try to fix it. I throw things out there to try to make things better. And if part of the problem is me, then I will say, I can do this differently. If I know that I'm doing things pretty much well enough, and there's some things more so that you can fix, and if you fix that, then I won't respond a certain way. Yeah, I'm taking responsibility. I've learned not to let people get under my skin. I used to be that I am in control. Can't let people win. I can't let people make me respond a certain way. Right? So you have to learn to say, you know what? You are not going to faze me. You are not going to win. You're not going to make me feel a way. You're not going to hurt me. And like I said, I do wear my heart on my sleeve. So that has happened. And it happens for a minute. I go long. I can't. I'm not going to let that control my life anymore. And so I still go through the emotions with that because I love and I care, and I feel the pain. I'm real with that. Like I will feel the pain, but you're not going to win for too long.
That's in your blood. That's in your blood. We got 2 quick questions in the chat. Here we go. Oh, yeah. There you go, Fitz. You got it, man.
So you see that one there?
Natalie, do you sometimes have random people who have heard your story approach you in public and thank you for it? Yeah, they do.
I struggle with that.
What do you mean?
Just people in public approaching, but sorry, go ahead. Tell your story.
I love that. I do. It's funny. My daughter Paris, she goes to high school here in Ajax, and she's in grade 12. And a young man came up to her and said, "Are you Paris?" And she's like, "Yeah." "Are you Paris Wilson?" She says, "Yeah." She's like, "Is your mom Natalie Wilson?" She says, "Yeah." She's like, "My mom follows your mom and loves your mom. She's so inspiring. She's so positive. She's so, and I felt," and so Paris came to me. I was like, "My kids are great." She's like, "Mommy, somebody came to me at school today and said, what he said." And she's like, "That's so good, Mommy, that you inspire women, and, women come up. Yeah, they do come up to me and like, Miss High Heel Diaries. I'm like, yeah, I love your hair, girl. You know, or they'll say something. Thank you. They'll say, and keep up the good work. And you're so strong.
Mhm.
You inspire me to do better. You inspire me to get past what I'm dealing with. And that's all I want. Like I don't need recognition, but the recognition feels good because it helps me to continue to heal. It helps me to know that, I'm doing something positive.
I was gonna say, does it put wind
someone,
underneath your wings?
Huh?
I was gonna say, does it put wind underneath your wings?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Yeah, it does. Because that's what keeps me going. Honestly, my kids, my family, my hearing women, knowing that women are pushing forward because of messages that I've posted. I'm getting a Charlie horse. Just hold on one second. Lord. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm here. I'm back. So I'm just going to stand up for a moment. But
Yeah, right.
It feels good. It feels good for sure.
You have another question. Have you made any lifestyle changes to minimize the risk of reoccurrence?
Yeah, for sure. So back in the early stages, of course, you get all your nutritional information from the doctors as to what you should and shouldn't eat, what you should incorporate. I've never been a really horrible eater, but more fish, more omegas, more greens, um, uh, lots of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, berries, exercise. I've always exercised and tried to stay active and fit. Um, I don't smoke.
She
I
looked
do.
up at you when she said that.
I know. I saw.
Oh, listen, whatever, man. Like I'm not critical
I
of
don't
any.
judge.
I don't do what you do. I mean, I do intake alcohol, but I'm not an everyday drinker, right? And it's that's one thing that they say to limit. But you know what? I live the life of I do everything in moderation. And I stay away from stuff that I stay away from, for the most part, things that I know are not good for me. But am I going to say that I don't intake or partake or enjoy every, now and then? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that I don't. I would never lie and say that I don't. But adding on a regular basis certain foods and exercise and diet and all that to my routine is a must. And not only because of having had cancer, but just overall better for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely. What else we got? I love the questions. I'm stretching.
How's that going?
And 1 and 2 and 3.
Well, are there any other questions directly from the chat? We got a bunch of questions still for you. We barely got to anything we had written down for you because
Oh, well, gosh. You know what?
your story has been just
okay. I'm done my story. Ask me.
No. Because what people might not understand is, as you're telling the story, I'm doing catching up too, right? As much as there is that connection, there still is a little bit of that. I didn't go. I mean, how do I say? I didn't go through much of that with you. I heard about it, right? I knew what was going on and what happened, but I didn't go through it with you from that perspective. So even hearing some of this, like when you asked me, like, "Hey, Sean, you okay?" I'm sitting there and I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah. And what is funny that you say that, Sean, is when I think about my family, and I'm not saying this to criticize anybody at all, but when I look at the amount of people or the people that were there during my journey, my struggle, they were friends. There was some family, of course, my mom, dad would check in, my godmother, my cousin, sister. I don't know. I feel like I still feel like I wish that I had more relationship with and closer relationships with family member so
Mm,
that I could have them journey with me and go through it with me
Mm.
as in depth as some of my friends did.
right. I feel that. I
Yeah,
understand that. For things
yeah,
that I go through, like for a lot of things that I've gone through,
yeah,
um, I go through it kind of, yeah, with my friends. My friends are my support system
yeah,
more
yeah,
than anything when I look
right,
at it from that perspective.
yeah,
And, you know, that's kind of what this is all part of this is all about, is just trying a little harder. I know I'm not perfect, and I have even reasons that I'm not as close to people, but all right, so
mhm,
be it. Now is now. So what can
yeah,
happen? Like,
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. It's like, I guess there's before the cancer, was the relationship fortified and as strong as it could be with certain family members? I guess not. So does that change because I got cancer? No, I don't want it to change just because I got cancer. But I wish that I had the close relationship prior to.
Right.
So therefore, during the time of, I would believe that they would be there. You know what I mean? I would like to have had my family in and about the house on a regular basis, my brothers and sisters and cousins, and just here rallying
yeah,
around. And um, I yearn, I yearn, I yearn for a relationship with my siblings. I do, because I don't have one of them.
mm,
My sister and I are not so tight
mm,
on my mom's side, and I wish that we were. There's nothing, there's not like really one thing that I can point at to say why. It's just we're different personalities, I guess. I don't know. Um, I know Eleanor, we can go months without talking. When I see her, I feel such joy and such love from her. Like, we see each other every day, and that's our one of our older sisters.
hmm.
Um, you, I just have like
The old sister, Eleanor. I got
I just have like a very fondness of, like, just because, like I said, I remember you growing up,
right.
and you, like, again, when we get together, it's just like cool. It's like you're like like a good friend. You know what I mean? And um,
Yeah, it's
Jaden,
interesting. It's
yeah, it's
also
an interesting, it's an interesting dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah, people don't understand it because it's just pockets of, and now that I think about it, I think it's more about like it necessarily what it's not about the kids or the brothers and sisters as much. It was more about just how the other interactions almost at the parent level happened, and
Mhm.
how that stuff happened to make us interconnect, I guess,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
So can I
weird
ask?
because, yeah, of
Can I ask you,
course,
like,
of course.
what? Um, I don't know if this is a forum for it or not, but this is pizza in the break room, okay? And we're in the break room, and we're gonna damn well talk about it right now.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
tell me, Sean, how is your relationship with Dad?
Oh, um,
Lover one in the chat.
number
Lover
one
one
in
in
the
the chat.
So I'd say it was super, like across the board, super duper good in the beginning.
Mhm,
All like baseball games, he'd come to my baseball games, and then like I said, until like, and we would go places,
mhm,
right? Like I
mhm,
said, trips. I think
mhm.
everybody knows me because of that time. Um, and then I got angry about
Why?
it all, just because I was old enough at that point to figure it all out, right?
Mhm.
Like when I was like 14, 15, 16, I was like,
Was he already gone?
yeah, he left. I was eight-ish, I think. Eight, seven, eight,
Mhm, mhm,
7, 8. But then he was still around.
mhm, mhm,
Um, and then now it's just pockets,
mhm,
pockets, not as much of stuff because I mean, there's not really a because, to be honest. I don't have a good answer for it. It just, it's, you know, it never reconnected once I got a little bit older at that point in time enough for it to be consistent.
Right.
A few times a year, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those types of things. So
Um,
that's about how it is now. So
yeah.
hang on, I'm gonna pause you for a second
Yeah.
because we're coming up on a quick time at 11:11. Natalie, for the people that subscribe and are in the chat, they have an 11:11 emote which you can put all up in the chat. But anyways, I'm going to talk you through this next minute. In this next minute, y'all, for the people that have been around, we're going to take all of the energy that we've harnessed and we're going to put it to healing. For anybody that's gone through stuff, it is now 11:11. So 11:11's in the chat. All that energy, whatever it is that
in the
you've
chat.
gone through at any point in your life, I guess the gist of everything that we've heard is that it's all about healing and owning that moment and kind of moving forward to just take. So we're gonna heal up at 11:11 right now. We're gonna take all good energy. There are 11:11s in the chat like mad right now, so big up to all that good stuff. And we're gonna take that. We're gonna push this forward. So appreciate everybody for being here. Christy Ray, Cindy, Milo, Trouble up in the chat. To the fam up in the chat, the brothers and the sisters, Teddy, Eleanor, some other people up in here.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, man, that's dope too. Even that, like that is crazy.
That's amazing.
Dope, right? So 11:11's over. So yeah, Nats, that's I think I at some point I realized I could do better a little bit. Jumping back to the conversation now that we took all that energy.
Yeah.
Right. I realized that but then that's where I think that's where I'm still at, is I could do better.
And I've let it all go. I've learned to that from my healing, I needed to not have. I mean, I asked. I'm about having to say you can ask somebody. I asked my dad and my mom to give me clear enough answers, honest answers, so that I understood what went on. And I think they still kind of sheltered me from some of the information. But I have an idea of what went on, why there was some distance. When Dad came back into my life, like I was 19, and his grandma had been in town, and he wanted me to meet her. So I went to my mom's to meet her and him, and I hadn't seen him for a couple of years at that point. Whoa, what a wealth of emotion. I think I cried for 2 hours. Just, I felt like a little girl all over again. I felt like I've missed my daddy. I'm like, where were you? Thank you for being here now. I missed out on my grandma on that side. You know, it was hard. You know, and I think now I look back at some of my relationships before my husband, and I had 2 boyfriends that were like 9 and 10 years older than me. And I told you guys that I've been with my husband since I was 16. So I was with a man before my husband that was 9 years older than me. Do the math. Okay. And only up until, I'd say was it last year maybe, did I realize that those couldn't have been healthy situations. Those were not healthy relationships, because that means I was looking for something else. And this daddy issue thing that people talk about, it's a real damn thing. Okay. When you're missing that regular father in your life. You look for that father figure in the wrong way, in the wrong person, right? And I held that for so long, and I just had this. I was talking to my cousin one day. I was like, you know what? Those 9 and 10 years older than me, like that was wrong. That was wrong on so many levels, wrong. And I understood now what it meant, but it took me up until 48 years old to understand that, right? But
48 and a half.
I was early 48 then, but let me tell you, what up, you? I have a really great relationship with Dad, and because I had to let it all go, and I feel like every time I see him and talk to him, I feel like a little girl that is in the arms of her daddy, and he makes me feel like that. Like he makes me feel very comforted and calls me a snugglepuss and all those sweet names that daddies do, and I love it. I love it. I'll think I'll be like this 60-year-old woman looking for daddy, like daddy, call me snugglepuss, can I sit on your knee? Because I miss that. And I love dad. We have a really great relationship. Yeah, dads are the best. They are. And so I'm very, very aware of that and very cognizant of what the absence can do. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. Yeah. What was that? I missed that. What was said?
So you don't look a day over 35.
Oh,
He's talking to me though.
Thanks, brother. It's in the genes. Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah. No, but that's good because I don't know. Like I said, I think I can do better.
Yeah,
I know why. I know why, but
yeah.
it's good. I can see it in you. Right?
Yeah.
That part of it. So
yeah, I've had to let it go. Like mom had her reasons, dad had his reasons. One wants to blame the other for certain things. I don't know. Like I'm not even trying to get into it.
It's a long time ago, right?
It's a long time ago, and I can't even stress that. I do know that he walked me down. He wanted to walk me down the aisle, and I had to say no. I had to be real with him. I was like, Daddy, I'm sorry, I love you, but I can't put you before my stepdad or my brother. You know what I mean? Because they were really there. And he understood. He understood. So, but he's there for everything else. So it's all good. Life lessons, yo.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's forever a battle, forever a struggle, forever a learning process. But I think we need to continue to take from our stories and our journeys and our struggles and triumphs messages and understand what they mean and use them to better ourselves, use them to support and empower others, right?
Yes, Cindy, Milo, we are all actually good looking. The lover one tree looks nice. Our nose, we got all the same nose. Everything's a little bit different, but we all pretty.
Thank you.
Pretty.
Thank you, Cindy. It's funny when Paris was born, or the second. First thing Nigel said when she was like, he's like, Lord, do you have your father nose? I was like, oh gosh, poor thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. No, this is good. I feel like I'm happy. I mean, that you're here outside of just like for many reasons, outside of it just being you, right? And we were like, because like I said to everybody in the chat, this is me catching up or us catching up. We had a flurry of conversation that led to this, but it was that flurry of conversation was fairly recent, and the previous flurry hadn't been from a little while ago, right?
Yeah, so we check in every once in a while, but we go through a span of don't know, 6 months even sometimes
And
where we
it
don't.
seems it seems normal, but now, like, you know, it's my old age too, right? Because as you get older, of course, I'm getting older, even though I'm much younger than you are, and much younger than any of my other brothers and sisters in the chat. Um,
You never remember for calling me because you're old, you can't remember.
all right, we're here now, here now.
It's all
No, this
good.
is good. This is
It
all,
goes
yeah,
both
this is
ways.
all good. So this helps
Yeah.
me too, because I'm you know I'm trying to make something of myself,
Mm,
or adjust myself and try to heal myself as well, right? So
mhm,
over the last
mhm.
little bit, and so that for me is good.
Yeah. And I think in
Yeah.
life, in at this stage, well, in anything, in any stage in life, I think though when you find something good, um, Teddy, okay, June, big bro's giving us like demands here. June
Mm-hmm.
for both of you. Um, when you
So
find
here,
something good,
yeah.
hi Al. When you find something good and that feels good, um, you need to hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to hold on to it in whatever relationship that might be in your life. And if it fulfills you, if it makes you a better person, if it, you know, helps you to grow on a spiritual level, like that's the kick I'm on. If you can't bring any of that, you can't bring any of that to my life, then you don't need to be a part of my life.
Yeah, I'm so about that right now. So
Yeah.
about it. Like,
Yeah.
people don't, you know, no, there's no three strikes right now. You get like a strike and a half right now.
Mhm.
Maybe people, or
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe strike and a half. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So Natalie, has there
Yeah.
been anybody that you've interviewed on all your episodes of High Heel Diaries that has impacted you in a way that you can remember? Like that's left an imprint on you? Is there any one person that you've interviewed that's done that for you?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I have to say all of them really have, and I don't want to say that nobody's story is impactful. I've spoken with hundreds of people, but everybody that has come on the show, it's really because there's a message to portray. There's a message to get out there, and they sought to come through my platform because they appreciate what I do. Um, so each story that has been on my platform has been a story that I've felt. But if I was to say pick, ah, I it's hard to say. They've
It's hard
all.
to say.
Not
I
even
have
a person, but a
actually
story that moved you.
my
Yeah.
my last guest, Nadine Spencer. She lost her son in a canoeing accident just last, was it last summer? Last
Hmm.
summer, June something actually. And I only met her um, just, I'd say 3 weeks after her son had passed. Okay. I didn't know her before.
Okay.
And I met her at a baby, when they announce what the baby is, reveal.
A reveal.
Hmm.
I was getting ready to leave because I was departing a little bit early for something else. And I went upstairs to say goodbye to a few ladies. And I walked into a group of three women talking, and they turned their head. They're like, they said to me, they're like, there's a presence about you
Hmm.
that when you were in a room, the room is just like bright and loud. Like when you walk in, and I was like, oh, thank you. It was like very kind of you. And I believe in women like approaching other women and saying, things like that. You're beautiful, or you're pretty, or, you did well, or thank you, anything. I think women should do that more often. I do that all the time. And so I was very appreciative, and we got to talking. And I'm like, I was leaving, but we got to talk. We were there for about an hour. And so one of the ladies said, knew my story, and said to Nadine, oh, Nadine, you need to tell Natalie about your story. And I was like, tell me. She's like, no, this is not the place. I'm like, fuck. She went in and she said,
Hmm.
I lost my son. He was, I think, forget what Nadine, I know you said you were going to be here, my love. If you're there, if you're here, hi. Send a message if you're here today, if you're here right now. But, I think Jonathan was maybe 21. I'm sorry, I don't remember if he was 21, but he was a young man and died. Was out on the canoe in the dark,
Hmm.
touching people, no life vest, didn't swim, and there was the current, and he went under. He died.
Hmm.
And she started talking that day, like at the shower, the baby event, and she was preaching and she was talking and she was talking about the strength that she's gotten and she hasn't cried and God is carrying me through. And I looked at that woman in like awe.
Hmm.
I was like, you're so right, God is carrying you, because if you were to be 1 ounce of human right now, you could not be sitting here talking about what you're talking about right now and talking so strongly and eloquently
3 weeks
about
later.
3 weeks later. Your beautiful baby boy. And all I can think of course, you automatically start thinking of your children, right? You're like, man,
Right.
I'd be a mess. Put me
Oh,
under.
that's right.
I
Now
remember
listening to
when
this right now.
yeah, when my sister passed and they were reeling her under into the ground. I was on the ground like I wanted to jump on top of the casket. I wanted to go. That's my sister. Can you imagine your child, right? And we became friends, and she's very supportive. She was at my breast cancer walk. I'm sorry, I do a breast cancer walk, a mile in my shoes every year. She's raised money to support breast cancer survivors.
Was it August?
And yeah, in August it is, end of August. And she was there. She was in my house. She helped me. Like she was so just alive and full of life. And I admire her so much. And she's really, really, truly touched me, because if there's ever a day where I feel weak and I feel I can't move on and go forward, all I have to do is think about Nadine.
Hmm.
All I have to do is think about Nadine, and I get yourself up, girl, and get going. You know what I
That's
mean?
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but there's been many, many stories, many messages. My mom was my first guest because, my mom is strength, she's strength. She's been through a lot. I mean, she's lost a child. She's been through a lot. Like she's made it through, separations, and supported us. And, it's been a challenging. So I said the first guest I had to be her. Yeah. Miss June.
It's true. For real.
Yeah.
Real. Oh, big sis. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm happy that you're here. I'm
It's real.
happy that you're here.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, thank you. I'm happy that you asked
Hmm.
for me to join. I love this forum. I really do. I do my interviews right here in my studio. Here's my studio. If you can see.
Oh, so you're good to go. You're ready.
Yeah, this is where I do my editing. This is where we film right here. And this is my office.
Oh, wow. Spinny,
Yeah,
spinny, spinny.
it's yeah. Sorry,
My
y'all
my
busy.
my studio don't look like that.
Yeah, thanks.
My studio don't spin either. So
Once she would come to the BBCR. We
so
love
the
her. So much.
BBCRs are like our bestie friends. They have a Twitch show. It's called the Boom Boom Chat Room. It's on Wednesdays at
Oh,
6 p.m. is the big quick plug.
I'd love to be there, and I'm happy to be anywhere where
Look at
we're
that. So there's
full of
a lot of people up
kids.
in the chat that it seems like, I mean, to me, this was a great story. So I'm very,
Mhm,
very happy that you
mhm.
were able to
Wicked.
speak your truth and
Yeah,
talk your story, and that we were able to get into some stuff. It's
we got into a lot of stuff, eh?
yeah,
Here's a
no,
here's a stuff to get into right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Here's a stuff. If you can have dinner with three famous people or a person that you would love to talk to, who would they be?
Fitz, hit
Oprah,
me up.
Oprah, Denzel. Who would my third person be? Who do I look at too? Not a big like.
You got to do the NY's fits. Ready? I'm going on a break.
Where are you going? Oh. So definitely Oprah. Denzel, I think he's just so introspective and just like down home and real. Um, I love Jada. Jada Pinkett.
Jada.
Yeah. I also think she's just very, very real. And the fact that she can come out and be honest about her um, entanglements and stuff like that. I think we're too at this stage of the game, especially with having gone through, some real struggles, some serious struggles, and talking about relationships and marriage and separation, divorce, and stuff like that. And I mean, I think we're not doing ourselves any justice by pretending things aren't what they are.
Right.
You know
I
what I
got you.
mean? Yeah. Just be real about it. It's not like you have to walk around talking your business to everybody or anything, but it will do you yourself justice to be real about where you are in life and where you are with certain things in your life. Because if you pretend and you carry on like it isn't what it is, and you got kind of sweep things under the carpet and no, everything's good. Like really, it's not. And you come home and you walk through the door, it's like, you be real about it. And I think it's something to say about like a celebrity that can go on her platform and talk about it, like her
Be
and
as
Will.
vulnerable as she is.
Yeah, be vulnerable. And I've heard that so much about myself. Like my vulnerability is something to admire, and I understand that. And like I don't call it being weak. I don't call those hard times being weak. It's strength to be able to open up and be your authentic self and talk about your struggles. It takes strength to be open and honest, right? Yeah. So those would be my three. Good question.
Okay, so what is it about? You said Denzel, right?
I just think Denzel, like I was listening to him speak about Will, and when Will decided and did what he did, and it's like he's just real about it. Like you go through your emotions and you feel what you feel, right? And you're a man. You're a man, and you're just real about your emotions, right? And I appreciate that he would go up to Will and talk about how you could have done things differently, what you shouldn't have done, and how he understands that sometimes the devil tests you at the times when you're at the highest place and about to win, right? And it's so true. Like the devil's always here, right? Always here tempting you, testing you, and you have to be cognizant of that, because if you're not, you will fail over and over again. So you have to be aware that, hey, you know what? And sometimes sometimes I want to I go to this, okay, I'm enjoying this little devilish part of me, you know what I mean?
Right.
It feels good and it's fun.
Easy.
Yeah.
For real.
Right? But then you have to regroup and think about the reality of it all.
And you said Oprah.
Well, Oprah, like, come on, like, I mean, I just
You get a car.
Gotta be on Oprah.
Yeah. I said that like with my talk show, and I hope you all have a chance to go on and like I'm nothing like that, like her, but I try to emulate her. Like I want my stories to be moving. I want to be real about my story. It's my story, so that people, my guests, feel comfortable enough to be real as well. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna have like a bunch of questions here. Like we have a dialogue. I have tissue in my drawer because there's not one of my episodes that I go through without shedding tears. Because these are real people feeling real pain and emotion and struggles. Right? And even better than that, the joy I feel knowing that they were able to come out of it. But Oprah, I mean, she had such had a difficult life, like a difficult struggle story to tell. And
she came up.
Her be real about it and not be like, keep those things sheltered, and all of a sudden it comes out in the tabloids like Oprah was abused when she was younger, and okay. She's like, okay, yeah, and I was. This has made me look where I am now. It's all good. It's part of my story. You know, I hated him. I loved him, and here I am. I went through the emotions of it all. I learned to get past it. You can't let those circumstances or those feelings or emotions, those past struggles hold you captive, right? You have to move past it and you have to grow past it and become great. And she is great. I admire her. And she don't have to be stick thin either. Oprah is glamorous in her thickness. And I love that about her. I love that about
She's
her.
just glamorous.
She's just glamorous. Beautiful lady.
Oprah.
Yeah.
That is
Shall I
amazing.
get the charger for my computer or what? Because it's about to run low or what?
No,
we
well,
say?
we can. We. I
We're
mean,
about
I
to
think we
wrap
had a
up.
fabulous night,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
yeah,
I think we
yeah.
ended on strength. And there was
Yeah.
one thing that I heard you say one time. Is you said strength doesn't come from what you can do, but strength comes from overcoming things that you thought that you couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's one of the most powerful things that I've
Yeah.
heard in a long time that resonate with me. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
I
that.
believe in that. I believe in that. And thank you guys for delving into my story and finding those quotes and like your media coverage about me was great, by the way. Thank you so much. You guys
That's
are the
all.
bomb.
That's all him with the
Tell your friends.
creativity.
Tell your friends.
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
true.
right? For real. I'm
No,
gonna
this is
hire
this
you.
is the coolest thing in the world. So the one thing before we end is
Yeah.
as we were doing our research and going through our information in
Yo,
your bio.
listen, you hold on, Sean. I
Yes.
don't want this to die. In my computer, if it says, yo, girl, I'm running low, it's gonna give me like literally 10 seconds. So give me 10 seconds, okay?
All right, take your 10
Please,
seconds.
please, please. I don't want it to end.
Run, woman. Run. Run, goddammit. Run. Run, big sis. Thank you everybody for being here. I hope you guys have had a good time. Like I said, I've been catching up a little bit too and understanding a lot about the story. So I've enjoyed hearing it as well.
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome.
I'm
That
back.
boy Jared with the dope emote.
I'm
He's
safe.
back.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I just didn't want it to end in the middle of a conversation, right?
No,
You don't know how to leave on a high note. That's the way you drop the mic.
Natalie, are you there?
Exactly.
Hello. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I was trying to say before now. I
This
just
is
know that
sorry.
this has been just like super cool for me. And I'm happy that the chat, as I've been watching the chat, has been very engaged in your story, and
Yeah.
the connection has been pretty cool. So I know that healing is a thing for me. So I'm real. This today is a part of my healing and part of what I'm going through as
And
well.
I
So
admire you. Can I just say that? I admire you.
oh no, not yet. There's the over under was a half. Okay, so go ahead. Sure, go.
I admire you for. I mean, our conversations we've had. There've been some information that we've shared that makes me. I have a different kind of kind of respect for adults that can acknowledge that we are not good together anymore, and that's okay, and that you can acknowledge that, and that you can acknowledge that you have things that you need to change and you could have done better, and vice versa. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be able to admit that and say that, and there's something to be said about that. And I want to tell you that I admire you for that.
Well, thank you for that. I'll say thank you for that.
I love you.
Aww.
Oh,
Aww.
oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I almost made it, but I'm gonna make it. I think I'm gonna make it. So
It's okay. You don't have to make it. You don't have to make it. It is what it is.
Yeah, just let it out, man.
Say
No,
thank you, sissy.
Yeah.
yes. I think did I say that? I said
Say
thank
love you.
Love you, big sis. All right. Oh, Chayla Soul's in the house. Chayla Soul, I know you've been here a little bit
Hey,
earlier.
see, I knew we hang out. We hung on for a reason.
Yeah, to see Chay.
Hey, Shay.
Oh, yeah. So this was, yes, that.
Thank you for sharing your journey with us, Natalie. You are inspiring. Thank you, Pizza in the Break Room, for another great show. Thank you for being here, Christy Ray.
Thank you, cuz.
Big up, cuz.
Your
Big up,
cousin?
fam. That's everybody. She's your cousin too now. She's everybody's
Yeah,
cousin.
good.
Everybody's
cousin. Everybody's cousin.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's true. You find communities, and that's why I love going to different events and speaking at different. I meet some people, like out of maybe 20 people that you meet, like I leave with at least one or two that we connect with and we stay in touch. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I love forums like this.
that's good. Yeah, it opens it up, right?
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love what you're doing.
You got me. You got me.
Shawnee.
Yes. Everybody's gonna awe and stuff. There's never tissue in this room. There's tissue. I'm not going to the tissue. I'm good.
But they had, like, seriously, like you
There you go. I'm good now.
you're making it.
That's cool.
You're making it, and your children will look at you and their mom and be proud that you guys chose you first. Okay? You chose you first. Because without a healthy you, there's no healthy children. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. You chose you first. You're human. You're human first before you're a daddy. Yeah.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Word to Big Bird.
No pun intended. On your shirt.
Oh shoot! Wait. That's
Is there Big
correct.
Bird on there?
Word to Big Bird.
Is that something that you say a lot? Word to Big Bird?
I mean, Big Bird's been influential in my life, I guess, right? I'm of age.
Yeah.
I'm of that age that I watched a little bit of
Yeah.
Sesame Street in my
Yeah.
life, which prompted me to buy the big, the Sesame Street shirt.
Me too.
I got a McDonald's shirt on the way from Peace Collective as well. Is this Peace Collective? I think this is Peace Collective. Big up to Peace Collective at Peace Collective. This was dope.
Yes. So Natalie, you can plug. Yeah, you can say something.
I was gonna say, how do you know Mr. Bennett?
Oh, Mr. Bennett. So he was my first son.
He was your first love? What'd you say?
What?
I'm like, that's a topic for another day. I love one.
Holy smokesy, yo. Yo, how come her thing didn't die earlier?
Because I chose to come out now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
yeah,
Okay,
we went to high school together. And we were in the same
Earlier we were
together.
in
Oh
rival
my
games.
gosh.
Don't forget that.
Look at this now. Look at it. Oh my
You
gosh.
shake it, man.
First lover one.
You shake it.
We played on the same basketball team together. We traveled in the back of a twin cam.
Oh, tell her. Yeah, tell her.
We traveled in the back of a twin cam to Florida together.
For the weekend.
In the license plate said Lover One.
Okay, this is sounding more and more like what I just said.
No, stop it. No, yeah, one time Lover One took us to Florida.
Oh, really? You know, Dad?
Yeah.
Right? Like that? Yeah.
Took us to Florida as kids. And it was a long ass drive, and it was he took 4 of us in a 2-seater.
What?
Well, Lover One wasn't the biggest car in the world, Nats.
No, I remember that little car.
Yeah, we were in the back
with the luggage
Yes.
and the cooler. for 30 hours like this. Like,
That's hilarious.
and I'm like, yes, we're going to Florida.
That's crazy. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
for a one night sleep.
Yeah,
And get back
exactly.
in the car.
Well, at least you
Yeah.
got some of that out of Dad, man. I didn't get any of that.
No, but that's
Yeah.
there you go, right? That's what I mean. It's interesting
Yeah.
to hear your perspective of that.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good. And you're here doing this together, and I'm sure still learning about each other along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But that's
For
good.
sure. All right, so you wanna plug yourself? You wanna put it on your handles, all your wherever people can catch you, can watch your stuff.
Yes, for sure. I will do that. So again, I'm on all platforms. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I put more of the business aspect of well, there's a lot of business here, but I use LinkedIn not as often. But it's all High Heel Diaries, HIGHHEAL Diaries. My website, highheeldiaries.com. That is a full service website, everything one stop shop. I do have a shop as well that you can get High Heel Diaries paraphernalia. I have body butter, care of my sister Eleanor, mugs, tumblers, t-shirts, lots of stuff like that. But all my stories I write. I'm an author as well, and I write stories. Yeah,
so it's a Bennett thing. Okay.
The badge.
Yes,
Writers.
the girl got some lyrics. I can speak, I can write. Yeah, I put it to paper, my feelings, and sometimes like those things just come to me. Like I dropped a mirror one time. I was hustling because we were going on a road trip, and I dropped a 2-sided mirror. One is like big on one side and small on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to go. I was like, shit. I went to go pick it up, and it was shattered, but it didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
And I looked at myself, and I saw one side was more shattered than the other, and one side was pretty clear. Well, on the road trip, I wrote a story, the 2-sided mirror, and the story was about how, sometimes when you're looking through the broken side, like you have to look so hard, you have to focus so hard to really see yourself in that broken side. But you focus so hard that you really see yourself good.
Yeah.
Right?
Metaphor.
And on that clear side, it's like, it is what it is. There's no hard thinking about it. It is what it is.
Where can we find that story?
Yeah, find that story. You'll see. Where
can we find it?
Oh, it's all on High Heel Diaries. Go on High Heel Diaries. You'll see my stories. Everything is there. Just maneuver. For anybody that is dealing with or has dealt with cancer, needs the support. I'm here. The coaching, the talking, whatever it is you need, I'm here for it. There's also resources on the website, on my website, where you can go to if you're looking for like a support group or hospitals or doctors. There's a ton of information, a wealth of information there under resources. Anything that I've ever done, write-ups, newspaper articles, stories, videos, collabs, it's all there. So it just gives you a little feel for, and everything has a message. And it's not just go and see Natalie, it's go and see the message.
Go see the message. Awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having
Miss
me.
Natalie Wilson, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tita Hasha, thank you for bringing this amazingness to the show.
That's dope. I'm very happy. I'm happy.
Lover one in the chat, everybody. Lover one in the chat.
I know, right?
That's what's up. I mean,
Everyone got some airtime, but you know what? When I talk to Daddy, I tell him straight up. I'm like, yeah, we talked about you. We talked about you. We talked talk about you.
Yeah, man.
But at the end, it's all love. It's all good.
Yeah, man. So big up to everybody that's up in here. We should we're gonna raid out Natalie. So you're gonna hang tight for a hot second, and we're gonna jump out. I see Celebrity Drew's on, so I guess I'm just gonna go to Celebrity Drew. So y'all, once again, thank you very much. I think we got the raid going. appreciate you all for being here and hearing this story.
Mhm.
Natalie, love you. Thank
Love you
you.
too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Yes, thank you
welcome.
so much, Natalie. This was amazing.
Thank you.
Over to
Fitz.
you. Over to you, Fitz.
Well,
You can close
everybody,
us out.
thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining Pizza in the Break Room, episode 43. And thank you for Mrs. Natalie Wilson and High Heel Diaries for blessing us with her presence. And it was an amazing night. Thank you so much for it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
T. Hotshot, Couture J, Pizza in the Break Room. Holla, holla, holla.
Good evening, y'all. All right, we're out.
All clear?